Hi, welcome to this our video again. It's the second one, and we are talking about the types of land use planning. According to David Walters, we are saying over the 20th century, various types of planning have emerged. According to David Walters, in his book labeled Designing Communities that was produced in 2007, there are 6 main types of planning. We've talked in our previous video, we've talked about 3 of them, and we are going to number 4. The fourth type of planning, according to David Walters, 2007, says advocacy and equity planning. Now, this one existed between 1960s and 1970s. It strands of the democratic planning that thought specifically to address social issues of inequality and injustice in community planning. Strands of democratic planning that thought specifically to address social issues of inequality and injustice in community planning. The fifth one is strategic planning. Now, strategic planning existed or was initiated in periods between 1960s and it is still existent between 1960s to present. Now, this one, strategic planning, recognizes small-scale objectives and pragmatic real-world constraints or issues. Strategic planning recognizes small-scale objectives and pragmatic real-world constraints or issues. The sixth type of land use planning, according to David Walters, is environmental planning or environmental planning. Environmental planning started in 1960s and is still existent as of now. Now, it is developed as many of the ecological and social implications of global development were first widely understood. Seventh one, another one, is tenure responsive planning. Tenure responsive planning started or was initiated in periods between 2015 and still on. It's going. It recognizes that land use planning should be collaborative but with the purpose of tenure security improvement. It is a hybrid approach whereby traditional advocacy, democratic and bottom-up efforts are merged in such a way that they focus towards tenure security outcomes. Now, this last one, tenure responsive planning, combines all the others. The first one, it combines traditional comprehensive planning, systematic planning, democratic advocacy, strategic, and environmental planning. Tenure responsive system, it recognizes that land use planning should be collaborative but with the purpose of tenure security improvement. It is a hybrid approach whereby traditional advocacy, democratic and bottom-up efforts are merged in such a way that they focus towards tenure security outcomes. The methods of planning globally, this is now global, the methods of planning. Using a chart, that is the first method of planning land use. Planning land use using a chart. This is a carrot. Some people call it a carrot or a chariot. It is CHARRETE. A chariot is a facilitated planning workshop often used by professional planners to gather information from their clients and the public about the project at hand. A chariot is a facilitated planning tool workshop used by professional planners to gather information from their clients and the public about the project at hand. Charrettes involve a diverse set of stakeholders in the planning process to ensure that the final plan comprehensively addresses the study area. Now, a charrette involves a diverse set of stakeholders in the planning process to ensure that the final plan comprehensively addresses the study area. That's a charrette. The second tool or method for planning is the GIS, or the Geographical Information Systems. GIS. These are an important tool in land use planning. The GIS, or the Geographical Information Systems, uses aerial photography to show land parcels. The GIS uses aerial photography to show land parcels, topography, street names, and other pertinent information. GIS, or Geographical Information Systems, contain layers of graphic information, graphic photos. They use photos. They take aerial photography, that information is used for live planning. Now, in continuation, GIS systems contain layers of graphic information and their relational databases that may be projected into maps that allow the user to view a composite of the specific area. Adding an array of graphical-oriented decision-making tools to the planning process. GIS systems contain layers of graphic information and their relational databases that may be projected into maps that allow the user to view a composite of a specific area, adding an array of graphically oriented decision-making tools to the planning process. The third method of planning land use is a transect line in brackets. A transect line in brackets. As used in planning, a transect is a hierarchical scale of environmental zones that define the land area by its character, ranging from rural preserved land to urban centers, and as a planning tool or as a planning methodology, the transect is used as a tool for managing growth and sustainability by planning land use around the physical characters of the land. This allows the community to plan for growth while preserving the natural and the historical nature of their environment. Just to repeat on a transect. A transect line, as used in planning, is a hierarchical scale of environmental zones that define a land area by its character, ranging from rural preserved land to urban centers. As a planning methodology, the transect is used as a tool for managing growth and sustainability by planning land use around the physical characters of the land. This allows the community to plan for growth while preserving the natural and historical nature of their environment. 4, or the last one, is the traditional and or local knowledge, IK. Indigenous knowledge, traditional and or local knowledge, or place-bound ways of knowing. It can also be referred to as place-bound ways of knowing. The categories of traditional or local knowledge or place-bound ways of learning include knowledge about the environment. That's 1. 2 is knowledge about the current use of areas. 3 is the knowledge of management systems. 4 is the values associated with the values or benefits associated with the environment. Thus, spirituality and culture. There is a growing literature about how to effectively incorporate the present traditional knowledge traditional and local knowledge in lies planning and management plans. So in our next video, we are talking more about the pros and cons, the advantages and the disadvantages of lies planning. Thanks as you watch the next video.